This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we will come back out of executive session and entertain a discussion about EMS.
So with the current workload that the position has, requires more than I have the ability to do on an extended period of time. So we need to look at finding a way to get, everything that needs to be done, managed as far as, ordering stuff, as far as, volunteer scheduling. That is just a hemorrhoid all the way around. Obviously, it'll take some work for somebody to get used to the volunteers to be able to help with that, but managing the drivers, the day staff scheduling, getting per diem folks that we're gonna train, get scheduling all that. There's just so much stuff that they can do to help so that I don't have to spend 30+ hours a week doing it.
So the idea is to create a part-time, I think they call them office specialist positions, to help the EMS in any, obviously, if they have extra time, then they can help some other departments. The focus would be EMS.
What would you call it?
And of course, that
Office specialist is the civil service term that at least these staff in this building are coded as.
And of course, not just scheduling and managing, but any other paperwork, all kinds of paperwork to the state, all kinds of.
There's different levels of office specialists, like level 1, level 2, level 4. So we have to figure out which one's the right one.
Which one is the blind person?
I don't know.
Okay.
What are they gonna be doing? Just gonna be.
No, that's the ambulance driver, the blind guy.
Yes,
I'm not getting this right.
They'd be helping.
They would be doing scheduling.
Helping with scheduling, filling out paperwork and submitting it to the state when we gotta do that.
There's all kinds of state reporting in a million ways.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Keeping track of the low SAP, on and on and on. There's a million things.
Yes, low SAP is a huge thing that we don't have anybody do right now. I mean, that's just out there. I don't even know where we start with that.
So things are scheduling, managing LoSAP, filling out paperwork and state reporting, ordering equipment.
Ordering equipment,
What equipment?
ordering
Ordering
equipment,
equipment, okay.
volunteer scheduling, paid staff scheduling.
Any and all administrative paperwork,
Clerical,
administrative paperwork, any and all.
and they can't do the detailed EMS stuff, but they can help you with the clerical kind of stuff. Billing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
they can do
helping
billing,
with
they can write.
with the billing stuff. Crap, yeah.
Billing's another big piece.
Similar.
That's.
So we need 2 full timers. Is that what you're telling me? To do all that?
Yeah, and that'll put us under, so.
Dave,
Are you looking at this temporarily for 18, 24 months to get on your feet? Or are you looking at this permanent position?
I don't know. Maybe we say we're gonna do it for 18 months and then reevaluate.
I think you're gonna have a hard time finding somebody.
Dave, we can do that, but
Doing it that way.
when we hire a part-time person, it's always,
So, yeah.
not per diem, but yeah.
Permanent.
No, not permanent, it's just.
Yeah, I understand. You'll,
It's
Not
a-
part-
At will, it's our at will play. They're working as long as we decide that they're gonna work.
Is it part-time?
Part-time.
So part-time civil service rule is 19 and a half hours a week.
Oh, Friday, the plan is part-time, no benefits, whatever we're gonna pay them. Oh, no, we don't, we can't.
So the girls here are office specialists. I don't know.
And maybe that's where
Civil
we
service has
start
a million
and see
positions.
how it goes, because then if there's other departments that want, time and stuff, we can adjust and make it more,
Right.
Got it down. 19 hours a week, whatever that would come out to, whatever the pay grade is for.
Well, would we pay a part-time clerical help?
I don't know.
Could be like, I mean, what is minimum wage these days? It's like $20.
Well, $15, it's gotta be $20. I don't know that it's gotta be
What
30 or
do
40.
our other people make? I'd have to
Oh,
research.
crap,
that.
I've got that written down somewhere, everybody's.
So one of the things we always have to think about is
What, Nate?
one of the things we have to think about is whether this falls into a union position or not.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if this falls into the union that covers the other clerical staff in the village.
Do part-time people fall in the union, Nate?
Oh, excuse me. Probably not, but then I would suggest that you look at what you're paying people with those similar job duties, because then if you are a part-timer hired to do a lot of the same type of work, they will look around them and ask or think to themselves, what's that other person making?
Where would they work on it?
Well, they'd have to work out of here because we don't have an office in North Ave for them to work out of.
We can make that work.
We should have the state on it.
Well, and
The retiree,
Cindy's retired.
That's true, yes, it is retired.
We technically have an extra desk in there.
Would that be the kind of thing somebody would do from home, or how would we do that? I don't know how that works. Or part, much of from home, or I don't know.
Some like Glenda does with grant writing. See what they can do.
Yeah, I could see
We'd have to figure that out.
a lot of that could be.
Not initially, though, until they figured out what they were doing.
Right.
Training, army training.
yeah, or just put it as, potential.
That could be a way to, not necessarily attract somebody, but that is to attract somebody.
Yeah,
If they can help from home, because there's really not a lot of requirement to be, maybe they need to be at the station once in a while or something.
So this was talked about the other night, after hours, just casually and stuff, and Mike wanted permission to go out to do this. So if we're gonna give him permission to go out with an advertisement or whatever, we're gonna need to have the number, so we gotta figure out the price. You know what?
I don't know.
20 bucks an hour is around 40 grand a year. If we make this 25 or 30, that's more than some of our full timers that have been here forever and ever.
but then you're
Yeah.
cutting into the budget.
Cutting into that budget too.
That's true.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not billing effectively, you're not getting the money you should anyway, so.
And that's a whole nother thing we gotta talk about too, is the billing aspect. We dug into it a little bit on the side, but that's a serious issue that, I look at other agencies, like Candor is surviving and having full paid staff just on their billing. What are we missing? Why can't we?
Right.
What are we doing wrong?
Maybe some of it's not getting out there.
Do we know, excuse me, sorry. Do we know if Cantor's soft billing for the little old lady?
I don't know. I gotta dig into it more. I just know that I think there's opportunities for us.
Maybe.
I mean,
Well, we talked about raising the prices to whatever the traffic will bear from the companies.
yeah, raising the prices and then, having them submit a letter of hardship if they can't pay the bill.
Well, that was for the soft part, but even for the insurance companies, because we picked middle of the road numbers before, maybe we need to pick the big high number. Insurance company has to pay whatever they have to pay. So if we said
Right.
1,200 was our number because that was middle of the road and they're paying 18, they got to pay the 18 or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe our numbers need to be the high number now,
That may be a thing.
but that might be enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but we gotta look at it and
Or it's just effective, like you said, effective billing, make sure we're submitting everything, make sure,
they're all pieces of the puzzle. I mean, we can't go wrong, in my opinion, by raising the rates and accepting letters of hardship.
How often do we raise the rates? Is that like a once a
usually
year?
once a year thing, they look at.
When did we do that last?
I don't remember. It's been at least a year.
We haven't raised them, but I know.
Well, we have.
We
We
looked
raised
at
them
it
once that I remember.
once after we established it. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's time.
It's definitely time, yeah.
I hear what you're saying about what you're saying, but without exactly saying it. You said, we raise the rates, we have a letter of hardship, but we're not talking about raising the rates. We're talking about changing it from no billing, soft billing to a rate. And boy, when we set this up, we promised that wouldn't be the way. I'm not, if it meant our survival or whatever, and we had to do something, then we have to, but I'm not in favor of doing that if we cannot do it.
But
So,
if.
so I'm just going to interject and note there is no such thing as soft billing or hard billing. There is
Well, of
only.
course not.
That's true.
So
Legally, we can't.
I would ask that you refrain from using the phrases soft billing and hard billing.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to have an executive session so I could say that shit.
Well, okay, so 1 year in the school district, there was a piece of paper that wasn't
I
filed
forgot that I
correctly
wasn't in that.
from our office, and we had 3 months that no therapies got paid for. It wasn't, and people said to me, well, why didn't the district get paid for physical therapy that 3-month period? It was not that I didn't provide the therapy or the speech therapist, or the occupational therapist. It was that there was a piece of paper that wasn't filed with the state, so we were not eligible to get that 3 months worth of billing, and that caused a lot of hoo-ha, unfortunately. So, I mean, I think, having someone who's really specializing and able to work on billing exclusively with some other things would really be helpful, because we might be missing 3 months of something somewhere because something isn't filed properly.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
So that's the thing we're talking about. Now, we have all these other concerns, but the thing we're talking about is hiring somebody. We need to do that.
We do.
How much are we going to pay them?
Sufficient.
Well, that's the hard part, is finding the person, but how much are we going to pay them?
Well, do we need to set that when we're looking, or do we set that when we find a person?
Based on their skills and their abilities and what
Like,
the
do we set a
others.
range maybe? Do we say it's 15 to 25 bucks an hour or something?
I think it's all based on civil service and the category of the position, isn't it?
So,
Once again, part-time is trickier. It's different.
yeah, part-time is definitely different.
Can we say whatever are within the civil service range of the position? Whether it could be
Not
15
really
or
a-
25.
not really a thing.
Nate?
Yeah, so I mean, the civil service doesn't set pay ranges.
You know, like when we advertise, they're gonna want a range from us.
Well,
Yeah,
I
and
can tell you.
Go ahead, Rusty.
Go, Nate.
No, I was looking at.
I was going to say, this is where I think referring to the applicable or, what's the full-time rate for this work? Like, that's most likely that's the likeliest place I would suggest looking. And then once you know that, then if build a range around that, because that's what
Right.
makes sense.
So when we have that, can we make it less or more than that? How does that work?
You could, but I think if you set it more than what you're paying your full-time people, then the union would probably say something like, if you're going to pay that for a part-timer, then you should pay it for a full-timer.
Now, we get that part, so if we would have to make it that or less probably to make that work.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. That $15 an hour is just not,
It's not acceptable today.
no, you can't do that. That can't be the
I
number.
don't know what we're paying our full-time. Bag or camper. We can figure all that out.
Oh crap, I've got it, but I can't find it right now. All those salaries.
So I gotta ask, are you looking?
No. It's in the file cabinet. No, I'm not looking.
Sorry.
So what? I say 20 bucks an hour is around 40 grand-ish a year, 25 bucks an hour is around 50 grand-ish a year. I think our people are getting, some of them are getting between those two things. So that's the number, 20 to 25. And 25 would probably get us in trouble. So 20 is the number, yes, no?
Probably.
Just in general. I don't know.
That sound like a lot of money once the grocery prices come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know the
Those
issue.
gougers.
The hard part of this process is gonna be finding a candidate.
Finding somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna fill a position.
Forget the number of, that we're talking about. It's gonna be hard to find anybody.
Qualified. I think it'd be 22 to start, up to 27, depending on experience.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, like, even no matter what we advertise it at the end of the day, so we can hire him or whatever, but we kind of massage that number, I think, right, Nate?
They just told us, if you pay them more than you pay the full-timers, you're asking
No,
for
that's a
trouble.
bad idea, but I'm saying, like, the number that we publish out there to advertise, I'd say it has to be 100% right.
Be good enough to.
So we don't have to put a number in the advertisement, right?
You
So
have
we-
to put it
You do have to.
With civil service for them to publish it.
Well, look up what the going rate for that type of position.
And let's put it in Bitcoin.
Try to match it.
Definitely been good. Venmo.
Well, let's get after it. What are we gonna do? Because we're using up that 5 minutes really fast.
We're way past the 10 minutes.
We're gonna give them permission to go out for part-time person. What are we gonna do?
Oh, and
Run at an attractive rate. There's nobody that's in mind at this time. Okay.
so we gotta think, budget wise, what can we support budget wise?
Which brings us, well, I get that, but that brings us to another thing, which if we had the hours and hours and hours that we need to do it, we need to go through the entire budget for the EMS. We need to go through what we've done the last few years, what we're looking at here, what's gonna happen with tires. We need to figure that all out to actually figure out what we're doing about anything.
That's true.
Okay, so now that we have the outline of what needs to be done, we can revisit this at a later date.
We probably need to do this.
You're not meeting for 3 weeks. So like a month, yeah.
That's true, yeah, because we get the bonus.
I don't wanna say this and
I don't know.
I don't wanna say this in public session, but
Well,
Well, I see a lot of jobs.
for me, it's time sensitive because my
Absolutely.
patients are
Yeah,
very
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
we got people that are, I don't know who they might be. We got people that are way overworked that may not be able to do this, that we might lose. I don't know who that could possibly be. But we need to take care of this.
Let's
I mean, I see
make
a
up
lot
a
of
number. Let's get this.
Our next
jobs
meeting,
with
that's
support
what's-
specialists between $19 to $20 an hour in this area.
Yeah, I was thinking $20.
20.
Number.
You know, 18 to 20. There was some old Tioga County stuff on there, but it was 4 years old, almost 5. So that's just too old.
$20.75.
My only question is, what do we pay our current staff, which is a union thing, but we'll figure that out between now and next meeting.
Well, and we'll know that tomorrow.
Right,
If it's not right, then we'll
we change it.
do something and do it soon.
Cindy's retiring, right?
Yeah, she's nothing I'm worried about.
There was a notice of vacancy office specialist 2. It was a full-time job, but the salary was $16.50 an hour. That was January 10th, 2024. So that is probably the most current I can see.
Where's that from?
That's town of Owego.
They're paying somebody $16 an hour?
$16.50 an hour, benefit package available.
So what I'm afraid of is our court office clerk. If I remember right, is her.
Yeah.
Totem pole.
Is the entry position.
Well,
That's still not the one that, she's not in a union. Is she? She's not full-time.
don't know if she's in the union or not, but she's.
Yeah, I think the last thing Mike wants to do is hire somebody and then have them leave in 3 months.
Right.
Hey, $20 an hour, we can't put $16.50. I don't care if our court lady's getting $16.50. We can't put that there because it's not gonna work.
To be honest.
What's that?
I hope they're not getting 16.50, but I don't know what they're getting.
20.
Well, let's go.
Do we want it? Do we want 20 to 25 or we just want 20?
2150.
Do I hear
Can you do a
2163?
range based on
Definitely
experience and
range, yeah.
qualifications?
Yeah.
So why not do like 18 to 25?
Nate, a range,
Range is fine. That's appropriate.
18 to 25 based on.
Yeah. I think that's.
Is that working? 18, 25?
Sounds good to me. And it'll be part-time, no benefits.
Seems like we were all talking, saying 25 is gonna be too much.
Correct.
It is
But
too
if we
much,
get somebody
and that's
that-
why it's 18 to 25. We ain't giving nobody 25 unless,
Unless it's a very
What about,
specialized EMS.
what about 18 to 22 or 18 to 23?
Give the range.
It's a little wiggle room.
Yeah.
They should find somebody that's like a perfect
Yeah, you never know.
billing company person or something.
They can ICD-10 code on the slide.
how do we lose with 18 to 25? How did that hurt us? How do we lose?
Well, because when there's a top of a range, they're gonna ask for it.
And they're not gonna get it unless then give us the resume.
Prove to us why.
Give us the resume why you're the 25. Move that we do. Depending on, but probably there'll be plenty to do. So
But it's at least, this list is a good start.
what do we call it? Move to advertise for
Yeah.
That position.
Office specialist.
for the EMS department at range of 18, salary range 18 to $25. That's the motion.
Okay, somebody second that?
I'll second that.
I don't think we need any more discussion. Rusty?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
And yes. So we won't do anything after this session.
Tough crap.
This is important.
Nate, you still on there?
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for, thank you for,
Our camera's not working.
camera's not, but that's okay. Thank you for, reminding us about language and things not to say such as soft. Appreciate it. Reminding me. Thank you.
Yep.
Sound like it.
I don't like to, Charles, do some thinking. I don't like this thinking crap.
Okay, is that it? Are we closing the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Absolutely. Adjourn.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Night.